was a hot day in Montreal today. Tonight's going to be a hot episode of the Calcio Guys with two hot guys, Adriano and Gianni. How's it going? And myself, Nicholas.
I'm too hot to handle, I guess. I don't know. I'm doing good. Johnny's over there. He's munching. He's on mute, but he's munching.
I'm doing hot girl shit. I'm eating Torelli chips. Just doing hot girl shit.
You already got your summer body ready. You could eat your Terali.
Damn right.
Johnny has summer body all year round, so it's always a summer body.
Oh, it's all round, all right.
Lots to talk about here. Like I said, the Calcio Guys, pretty much topic for all of our teams. Europa League final this week. We'll even talk some CS Saint Laurent at the end of it. Big news. Well, potentially big news from that club, but we'll start off right here with my club with the big news coming this weekend. When was it? On Friday, I believe. Allegri officially sacked from Juventus. I mean, the firing itself, not a surprise. We talked about it all year. I always said I expected it to happen at the end of the season, but the fact that it happened right after winning the Coppa Italia was I think that was more of a shock. The timing was weird. I know there was, I guess, some behavioral issues, if you want to call that, in Wednesday's game. You know, he got the red card, yelled at the ref, apparently got into a fight with a journalist, which, you know, I'm not saying go get in fights with journalists, but the fact that he did it in that situation, just the whole moment on Wednesday was very Allegri. Yeah, apparently Juve management didn't like that. Let him go right away. Final 2 games now with Paulo Montero as the interim coach as they possibly await Thiago Motta. But I mean, the short Montero era started today down 3-0 to Bologna against that Thiago Motta. And, you know, thankfully Juve came back today. Goals from Chiesa, Yildiz, and Milik. So they get the point on the road, but it feels like that's been the story of all season. You get the point. They've drawn how many games now? God knows how many. But you know what's frustrating for Juve is all season everyone's saying, "Oh, fire Allegri," and then the first game that he's gone. Okay, guys, I know they're pretty much still playing Allegri's tactics. I don't know how close Montero was to Allegri. I think he was promoted from the youth staff. He wasn't even an assistant coach. And by the way, Juve's tied 14 times this season. Not tied for most in the league. Tied for second most in the league. Udinese has 19. But you know, the fact that they came out today and started off with a stinker, they were saved at the end by those 3 goals. It goes to show what I've been saying all season, where I really thought this was going to be a move that they just do it in the offseason. Just avoid that distraction with 2 games left. You already have Champions League qualified. You won the Coppa Italia. Right now, you're just battling for the 3rd, 4th position, 5th position. You don't want to finish in that position. And here we are. There's a huge distraction going to the game. I don't know if it threw off players, but you know, at the same time, it goes to show, you know, firing a coach is not going to solve everything. We know Juve's problem is more than just a coach. They have depth issues. They have talent issues. This is a project moving forward, whether it's Motta or someone else, that Juve fans are going to have to be patient. You know, I tweeted in 6 months, Juve fans are going to regret the team firing Allegri. I didn't mean it in the sense that Allegri shouldn't have been fired. More in the sense that people expect instant gratification. And that's not going to happen. Juve is not going to win the Scudetto next year. Juve is not winning the Champions League. Hopefully they'll get better than 68 points, possibly 71 points. But, you know, Inter is a class above everyone else this season. We've said that all along. And they're a team that I think will remain a class above everyone else. Milan is 6 points above Juve right now. Is Milan that much better? Yeah, they're a bit better. But, you know, that's a team that maybe Juve should strive for that Milan team instead of Inter right now. So, you know, it's just a situation that I think all Juve fans are going to have to be patient. You know, we could get better next season with the right players, with the right purchases in the summer, if they have any money left. But we're not going to get significantly better. the only way we win the Scudetto is I wouldn't say a miracle, but if Inter, they have a season with injuries, bad luck, bad form, we saw that this year with Napoli too, where they killed it last year, and then obviously they lost a couple of guys this summer, but injuries such and such this year, they were not too good as a defending champion. It's just I was really hoping this move would come in the summer, just to avoid all distractions. There's my rant of the episode. I don't know. What do you guys think from the outside looking in?
I mean, it was clear that they were just looking for an excuse to fire him. It's not the first time the guy lost his antics or the guy lost his composure, or did something crazy like this. They were just like, okay, we can, we'll just pretend that we'll use this as the fireball offense just to put a pin on it, because they're waiting for a slip, because I'm pretty sure they wanted to terminate him for a while, but they were just waiting for a slip up or something. So I totally agree that they could have done this during the summer, because right now the team is just okay. What's the point? What's what do we get? What do we gain from this? That it happens now instead of during the summer? So I just think it was just them looking for something at some time just to come up as an excuse.
I think also, I mean, the what they put out as why they fired him was bullshit. I mean, it didn't align with Juve's values or whatever, something along those lines. You see that and it's really, I don't know. For me, it was all bullshit. We knew it was going to happen. Did I know it was going to happen 2 games before the end of the season? No. I was seeing somewhere potentially. I don't know if that plays a factor in terms of maybe a loophole in terms of saving salary on him or something along those lines. I don't know 100%, but if it was going to be now or if it was going to be at the end of the season, it was going to happen. As somebody rings the doorbell at the Delhi Colley residence. But no, listen, Allegri's time I think was far but over, and just pinpointing his antics after the Coppa Italia, after this guy, and I'm not defending him, but just to say he stabilized Juve in a tough period on and off the pitch. I think you can at least credit him for that. His tactics, his backwards mentality, his positioning of players. You can say what you want about that, but he was able to stabilize this Juve. If there's any saving grace, he brought this team back into Champions League. He won a trophy, even though it is only Coppa Italia, it's still a trophy. So he was able to do some quote unquote good amongst all the bad. But the way they went about firing him, and I think behind the scenes, personally, I think there was a lot that we don't know behind the scenes. I think I saw him and Giuntoli getting into it as well. Telling him not to celebrate, not pushing him to a side, but kind of shooing him off. So clearly there was some sort of turmoil between him and upper management. So I don't know. Am I shocked a bit? Was it bound to happen? Absolutely. So we move, but at the end of the day now it's it seems like they're all in on Motta. We've been saying it for weeks, maybe months now. We'll see. I think the final say on that is on Thiago Motta. Juve's put out the terms to him, has sent him an offer. Is it one that he can't refuse? I don't know. We'll see. But I saw a quote from Giulio Saputo, obviously president of Bologna, saying that they're going to try everything in their power to keep Thiago Motta at Bologna. I think he spoke to the Zone for that quote. So we'll see. Time will tell. But at the end of the day, it's up to Thiago Motta. He's going from one Champions League team to another, seeing how they're both in Champions League next season. Does him going to Juve push the needle for him? Yeah. Obviously a bigger club, bigger history, bigger expectations. But I don't know. We'll see if he's up for the task. Come the summer or whenever they decide to appoint a new manager. So. We'll see Montero next week, and I think he'll go back down to the Juventus U23 next gen project with that. So yeah, I mean, I think if there was one thing that could have been out of respect, if you want to call it that, kind of send Allegri out in a bit more of style. But again, at the end of the day, this is round 2 for Allegri. I think he knows Juventus. I don't think he really needs that send off. I think I saw a quote from Rabiot. I think that said he deserved one, especially after winning the trophy in a tough and awkward season for this Juventus. So that would have been nice, I think, out of respect. But ultimately, I think the behind the scenes drama, I think, kind of spewed out in terms of this firing and targeting him in a sense of saying, his post game antics or the reason that you fired him is, for me, complete bullshit, like I said. So it's not the first time we've seen an Allegri striptease on the touchline. I don't think it'll be the last if he ever gets a coaching job again. So it's a shame, but hey, we move, and we're here to talk about it because it's big news in Italian culture.
You know how they say don't quit your job until you have your second one all lined up? It kind of feels like that situation. I know there's all these rumors. Again, with the whole Motta, it's pretty much 99% done, but
it's on him. It's on him at the end.
Yeah.
And I don't think Allegri gets another job, right after the bat either. So
no.
We'll
I'm not talking about Allegri. I'm talking more for Juve.
Oh yeah.
To fire the coach when there's no guarantee. Okay, at least from an outside perspective, it doesn't seem like there's a guarantee. But Motta, the worst case scenario right now is that Motta does not come, and then they're left scrambling to find someone else.
It's a possibility.
Yeah, it's going to be tough because you don't end up with something like Juventus had this summer, where towards the end of the summer, finds out that Spalletti's going to probably take a sabbatical, and it's like, oh crap, now you're scrambling to find a coach to take the reins of the team. So it's like, I'm not saying that Juve does have more pull, but I'm just saying, you don't want to be stuck in a situation like that. Where you're scrambling to find a coach, and then you're just stuck with a coach that just doesn't work with the team.
Yeah, that's kind of what happened even when Allegri's first stint back in 2014, where Conte left, a couple of weeks before preseason, and then Allegri came in, and obviously the rest is history on that end. But it's weird. It's not like back in 2019, where Allegri announced a couple of weeks before that he'd be leaving, this and that. They had the time. Even when Pirlo was fired, he was fired right at the end of the season. Same thing with Sarri, right at the end of the season, gave the team some time. But that's pretty much it. And, speak about, let's talk about Bologna. Let's talk about Motta. Let's say he does leave. Do you guys think there's a candidate that Bologna should pursue? Because next season's a big one with Champions League and everything.
I think there's a lot of obviously good coaches in Italy. I mean, we say it a lot on the show, and I don't know. It'll be a tough one because who would be ready to take that next step. I mean, obviously a lot of people fall in love with the Palladinos of the world and stuff of that nature, but I don't know. Maybe an Italiano. I don't know if it's really a jump for him. I know obviously in terms of the competition that he might potentially play, I think he can, it ultimately depends on who they keep in terms of their players, because, this system that Motta has implied, it has worked with these players. If a guy like Italiano comes in, I think he does play obviously an attacking mind of football. And we see Fiorentina playing some pretty good culture and get far in competitions such as the Conference League and such. So they haven't gone over that hump of really making it more than that, kind of like Europa League, and really maybe challenging for now potentially top 5. So, but if people might call that maybe a lateral move, I don't know. But maybe a guy like Italiano for that next jump for him, getting some Champions League experience. I think that would obviously be a goal of his, and pretty much any coach that wants to coach at the highest of levels. But again, it all depends on, like I said, who they keep, what they're going to be able to spend, how much they're going to be able to spend, and obviously their sporting director is a good one, and I think they're able to build this project, with Saputo and Sartori. But we'll see what coach can lend a hand at guiding the ship. So I don't know. I think just off the top of the head name, an Italiano would be interesting to see, for him to get that opportunity, because I don't know if I can't really say any foreign coaches. I really don't know like who would come in and work some magic with Bologna. But if we had to stay inside Italy, I would maybe say a guy like Italiano is potentially a candidate. Maybe to make that jump.
Realistically, though, like I don't see Italiano leaving Fiorentina for Bologna. Like it's
That's what I'm
hard.
saying. It's a
hard.
50-50 for me.
It's hard. It's like because you know that basically they're gonna get stripped apart. Bologna is gonna get stripped apart. So it's hard. Like, would you really want to take on a roster that's just about to get picked apart by basically all of Europe right now? And especially that, like, the players can see the writing on the wall because of, like Motta leaving and stuff, and rumors of some transfers of like Xerxes already happening. It's
Calafiori
too. Calafiori,
Ferguson.
yeah. Oh my God, Toby, like.
No, the list goes on. Calafiori, Lewis Ferguson. The list goes on for Bologna. I think it's a tough one. I think in an ideal world, they want Thiago Motta to stay and maybe keep this going for at least another season and see how this Champions League campaign goes. But listen, guys, it's the first time in nearly 60 years that they've made it back into champions. I think they have a lot to be proud of. No matter what happens next season, I think, they were there on merit. They deserved it. They had a great season. Hopefully they can build on it. We'll see. I don't know. It's going to be tough. I know, like I said, Saputo, Di Vaio, and company really want to keep Thiago Motta. But I think honestly, like we were speaking a bit last week with Dan, I think they maybe could even like an Atalanta that can kind of like afford to keep some of their stars. I think, Bologna can do as well. I mean, I guess obviously if some ludicrous amount comes for these players, I guess you're kind of forced to accept that. But I think ultimately with the Champions League money coming in, I don't think they're that much in the red, if not at all. I think they're pretty good club in terms of the financials. They can definitely work with something, but again, it's a big if, because like Johnny said, this team is most likely going to get picked apart, and we kind of know that. I think at the back of our heads, we kind of hope that it doesn't happen to an extent where they're just totally blown apart. They can't compete in a competition that they haven't sniffed in 60 years. It would be a real shame, but I guess only time will tell.
I think you guys will disagree with the name I'm going to bring up as a potential coach, and this is probably like a safe pick for Bologna. But Stefano Pioli, is he on his way out of Milan? I know it's not going to be that wouldn't be a flashy hire, but this is a guy with experience, and he would be coming from a Champions League team. It's what the past 3-4 seasons Milan's consistently at least been in Champions League, and they made won the Scudetto with them, and they made runs. I'm thinking about last year. So there's a guy, and you think back even to his Fiorentina days, obviously a different situation, but he had to lead Fiorentina after the death of Davide Astori, where he just seems like the type of coach that leads a team through a difficult situation. I'm not saying Bologna is going to go through a difficult situation. Let's say if they lose their players, it's just a very different situation.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm saying a guy like Pioli is just, maybe he's not your first choice, but I think he's reliable. And
that's a good shot. Yeah.
Like, I wouldn't be surprised if that's the case. Again, we have to see if he's on his way out. I don't know, Idri. Is it all but confirmed that he's on his way out of Milan? I don't think so.
I mean, it's time will tell, right? I mean, pretty much it's kind of like Juve fans saying it's 99% done for Thiago Motta. I think it's about the same for Pioli leaving. I think Milan just has to fucking make up their mind and pick what coach they want to try to bring in. Obviously, De Zerbi now leaving Brighton kind of opens up the eyes for many Milanisti, and obviously with De Zerbi having the ties to Milan, as a youngster, we'll see. But again, that's a good shout. I think if I think he has the potential to, again, kind of like an Allegri, kind of stabilize the situation. If this is still going to be a young team, I think he's shown that he's able to do well with a younger group of players and kind of bring the team together. I think Pioli takes you only to a certain level, as we've unfortunately seen with Milan. To get to that next level, I think is not his realm. But again, I think that could. I didn't think of Pioli, to be honest, and even though he's Milan's coach right now, but that's a good shot. I think it's under the radar. I don't think many people are talking about it. So hey, if it does end up happening, I guess maybe you heard it here first on the Calcio Guys.
Yeah, maybe I'm an insider. But
that'd be one heck of a rumor to start on, just like
insider trading.
Yeah,
Pioli to Bologna confirmed? Confirmed.
Calcio Guys. No, we'll see, man. It's possible. Anything's possible.
Yeah. I don't know if you guys saw their celebrations today, because it was their last home game.
Yeah, beautiful.
With Juve. It's just funny because they blew a 3-0 lead, so I'm sure the players are feeling a bit disappointed with the game, and that they're still celebrating. And Orsolini seems like the guy who would probably have the most fun out of these whole celebrations.
It was a beautiful moment. Obviously, a couple weeks ago when when they knew they were getting in the top 5 there, and with him and his nonna, and that whole video went around, and obviously just the celebrations in Bologna. I mean, it's just been incredible. I think they're on such a high, and again, like I said earlier, it's on merit, right? They deserve it. They've had an incredible season. We've said it. So if these guys stick around, like we've been saying, it's for the good for Bologna. If not, I think Bologna still deserves some good fortune next season.
What's crazy is, you look back. So Bologna came back into the Serie A in the 2015-16 season. They were relegated 13-14, and then won the Serie B playoffs in 14-15. And then after that, in Serie A, they finished 14th, 15th, 15th, 10th, 12th, 13th, 9th, and 3rd, 4th, or I don't know if they could finish 5th this year. So this team really came, they were really a middle of the pack team. Thinking of, in terms of top, soccer accomplishments, where does this rank, compared to, let's say, Greece winning the Euros, Leicester winning the Premier League, or Napoli winning the Scudetto? Where does this rank out of all miracles?
Whoa. Let's calm down there. Napoli has been biting at the heels of that Scudetto for almost the past decade.
I think Jenny's mom heard that comment too, to be honest.
Yeah,
she's gonna come kill me.
Yeah, there was a lot of times you finished second versus to Juve against the Juve super teams of the world. But anyways, I honestly think, I don't think it's that high. I think it's a really good achievement, but it would be ridiculous to say that it's like that crazy high. I think, honestly speaking, it's probably it's a good achievement. It's a solid one. It's probably up there. It's definitely up there, but I wouldn't say it's like that high. Maybe like if those are 10s, let's say, I'd say Bologna finishing top 4 would probably be like a 7. Like a nice, pleasant surprise. Great achievement for them. A very historic achievement. But I wouldn't say it's like it's like holy hell. Now, if Bologna would have won the league, then yeah, definitely would put it up there, because those are championship results. Whereas this is like not really a championship result, but to each their own.
That's well said. Yeah, no, I don't think it compares to anything in terms of what you just named. I mean, Leicester winning the league, like, no, come on.
For me, that's a top. It's always
that in this last decade or so, that and probably for decades to come is going to be an incredible achievement. So, like you said, Greece winning the Euro in 2004. All the Greeks like to hold on to that one, so we always like to poke fun at that. But no, I mean, listen, like we said, I think we've been saying it a lot, not only this episode, but throughout the year. It's a great achievement. I don't think, like Jenny said, I don't think it's over the moon crazy. It's crazy, to say that they haven't touched a competition like Champions League in nearly 60 years. Like 59 years, I think it was. Like, that's crazy for sure. But I mean, like Jenny said, I think there's nothing besides that title. I mean, there's nothing really attached to it physically in terms of a trophy or something along those lines. Like, you know, I don't know when the last time they've won a trophy. I don't know off the top of my head, but like, it's once you win silverware, I think you get up another bonus point in the rankings of that nature. So great achievement for sure. We'll I don't think ever forget this run. But yeah, I think it ends there, and kind of have to be a realist when we talk about it. But love the story, and we'll definitely be rooting for Bologna.
Of course, I just wanted to throw in the jab. That's it.
Of course you did.
Yeah.
It's all good. You
I didn't know
a
the
really
next
good
one.
achievement this weekend, you know, like winning that Coppa Italia. Very massive
Oh, of
achievement
course.
for the club.
It was last week. It wasn't this weekend. It was
Last week, whatever. We should put that in the 10 category for you.
Exactly. Vlahovic scoring 11.
Fair enough.
I didn't know Bologna actually won 7 Scudetti. I didn't realize it was that. I knew they had won a couple. I didn't realize they were at 7. So maybe they get enough money. They build a super team. They win 3 Scudetti in a row, and then they get a star. And then maybe Joey Saputo will invest in CF Montreal.
Genoa has to get to that. Genoa has to get to that star first.
Yeah, they're a 9. They're right there.
Waiting.
They're right there. You might see it in a lifetime. I don't know if they have good investors. Like, it could happen in our lifetime. You know, you never know.
We'll see.